Good afternoon, card fans. Another episode today. Today we have on Enrique. Would you like to introduce yourself, Enrique? Tell everyone a bit about yourself.
Yep. So hi everyone. My name's Enrique. I've been playing One Piece since like late OP04. I started getting a lot more competitive and like into it in about the past year. I think I started showing better results over the past half a year about that. So I got my a few of my good results were probably like top 8 with P Luffy. One that I'm really proud of was I got top 16 with Bonnie in OP10. It was definitely not the meta for Bonnie, so I'm very pleased about it. And I guess something more unique recently was I brought GY Law to Sydney Regionals, and yeah, I got top 64 for that. Not a crazy result, but I was expecting less going in with GY Law, so
Yep.
yeah, kind of
No,
happy
cool.
with that. Yeah,
And so you came in OP04. Were you
yeah,
playing
towards
other
the end.
other card games before that at all, or just straight into One
No,
Piece?
yeah. So One Piece, like I mean, before One Piece, I guess I played a bit of Yu-Gi-Oh when I was like 12, but never really like in the competitive scene, just a kid with the cards, right? Yeah, I got into One Piece just because one time me and my colleagues were walking into EB Games and we just saw it, and yeah, it just started.
Yeah,
That's
nice.
how it happened. Yeah.
That's pretty cool. Do you credit having that drive to do well with One Piece because it is your first card game that you've played? Like, is it something that you think, oh, let's go for it?
Yeah, I think it's more just about my nature as a person. I think whenever I pick up something, I always try to get as good as I can at it, just because I have joy in finding out the most like unique things about the game and just having like a lot of understanding in it.
Yeah,
Yeah, not just games in general. I think in other things as well.
yeah,
Yeah, like I'm into like fitness as well. I like watching a lot of like YouTube videos, like gym science, things like that.
yeah,
Yeah. So
yeah. Cool. Um, so talking about getting like finding out the intricacies and sort of the unique things, you took GY Law to Sydney.
yeah.
What drove that choice?
Yeah, so the reason why I took GY Law to Sydney is not I think it's not really about the meta and like doing like super well. For me, it was just I really wanted to play something that I thought would challenge myself as a player. And GY Law, I believe, is like in current state probably one of the most difficult decks in terms of smaller sequencing because you have to do a lot of things around like Don manipulation, bouncing, and then using your leader ability to like, um, I guess, bring out cards from your life and being able to assess whether or not it's safe to do that for each matchup and things like that can be very difficult. But also like your choice of what 5 costs you bring out, like what is your game plan against like each leader, like for example, if I were to play against Shanks, I guess something more linear to understand, I would want to definitely bring out Bonnie, for example, 5 cost Bonnie on their before their 7th on turn or before the 8th on turn, so that I can deny them the building of their taller bodies, like Beckman to like remove my guy, or like Rayleigh to remove my guy, and then slowly build momentum. Like little choices like that, I think, um, yeah, just very, very, how do I say, very hard to understand in some ways, and I think law kind of challenges it and
Yeah,
forces you
definitely.
to understand those options. Yeah,
Yeah, it definitely challenges your fundamentals, that deck.
yeah, yeah,
Which is really cool because you have to get better at fundamentals to play that deck well. Like I know when I sit down and I play someone who's playing GY Law, and there's like cards flying across the
yeah,
table. I'm like, this
yeah,
card's down, that card's gone. There's a card being bounced. I've now got two more Don. I'm like,
yeah,
I, I'm glad you know what's happening because at this
yeah,
point, I'm just letting you tell me what's happening.
yeah,
Which is like it's a challenging deck to play against myself because
yeah,
it relies on me having a good understanding of the fundamentals too.
yeah, yeah.
Um, but
I
yeah,
was,
that's cool. So
I,
taking that there, it was like you could express your skill more so.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. I
Yeah.
think for me when I play, I mean, obviously I would like to do well, but
Yeah.
I like trying to do well with decks that I feel that are a little bit more on the difficult side because
Yeah.
it's more fun for me. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And
Yeah.
keeping it fun
Yeah.
is being one of the key sort of points that people have made throughout the series is that, it's to do well, you have to be having fun.
Yeah. Yeah.
So there's no point going there and hating what you're doing, and then you just won't perform. And that's why you picked Bonnie as well, I assume.
Yeah. So Bonnie was a little bit different. It is one that is more difficult, but also because like the deck was it's very fair in the sense that if I were to make any play, like I can't really get lucky with a deck, I guess. It's like
Yep.
all about your decisions purely. And for me at the time, I was purely thinking about, oh, how can I improve my skill set as a player? So I thought a deck that was very clear about where I went wrong and how I could do better would definitely help me, which
Yep.
is why I decided to go ahead with Bonnie for OP10 and try and use it as a time to improve my skill set as much as I could. That was like my main choice. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Cool. And so you're approaching your approach to big events, like big regional events. That's part of that decision making is like what will help me improve
Yeah.
into these events
Yeah.
as well.
Yeah. I think like ultimately when it comes to like a meta that I care about or like there's like a deck that I really want to do well at, I would definitely focus on that deck or like whatever meta to try and do as best as I can. But when there's sort of like a meta that I don't like not too fussed about, I'm more thinking about okay, so what can I do in this set to help me improve myself as a player?
Yeah.
Yeah, for example, OB10, like the fact that Shanks was one of the top tier decks really like I couldn't deal with it. So I just yeah, I so it's a meta that I didn't like at all. So that's why I decided to pick something else
Yeah.
and just try and yeah, improve myself, I guess.
Yeah. And I guess that comes back to that there's that saying that you see people say on Twitter a fair bit. It's like the OP12 waiting room sort of
Yeah,
thing.
yeah.
So, so you're in like so now you're playing GY Law, and you've got
Mm,
OP12 coming up.
mm.
Are you looking more to OP12 and what you'll be playing in OP12 now at this point? Then
Yeah, so actually at the moment, I think for OP11, I'm pretty much done. I think with all the previous events, you can see like with the results, Bella Betty is definitely winning a lot.
yeah,
For me as someone that plays GUI Law, like if I were to go in, if that Bella Betty knew how to play and like maintain momentum against me, I'm almost like insta lose.
yeah,
So it just doesn't seem worth it for me to like, travel interstate and play GUI Law for something that I'll probably just get smoked in. So if I were to go, I'd have to swap decks. So I'm not really that keen on it.
yeah,
So I'm kind of like on a break for OP11, just looking forward to OP12. Yeah, where I think I'll probably be picking up Rayleigh just under recommendation from other players.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. No, that looks like a pretty cool deck. I,
Yeah.
I remember when that leader came out, and I was like, oh, can't have anything more than like a 4 cost. I was
Yeah.
like, how's this going to
Yeah.
work? But
Yeah.
the results are there for it, definitely.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, yeah, cool. And so you at the start there, and you're talking about fitness and watching sort of health science videos on YouTube. How important is fitness and health to you in preparing for these events as well?
I think it sort of depends on how much time you're putting into the practice for the events. Like if you're an extremely competitive player and you're spending like several hours every day trying to play the game and theorize like solutions for decks, like what are your outs in these scenarios and yada yada yada. I believe having a different hobby, like something like fitness, like more physical, could definitely help because it's sort of I think puts your mind elsewhere and kind of sort of refreshes you for a bit so that when you do come back to your practicing, you kind of like look at it again where it's a bit more fresh, right?
Yeah,
And I think that could definitely help you out as a play, so someone that is play testing, so that you don't like, I guess, tunnel vision into a certain player or like a certain scenario. But I think if you're not really like heavily investing a lot of hours and you're not really like you know, in a really mentally like intense state when testing, I think it should sort of be okay if you don't really spend it like, I mean, a lot of time in fitness, I guess. Yeah. But as for like actual events and things like that, I mean, I personally don't think going to the gym or like doing any sort of fitness would like definitely help you on the day. I think it's more of a mental mindset thing. Like, how are you gonna let your previous games affect you, or like how are you gonna let not seeing your like optimal hand affect you and things like that. It's more like your attitude rather than a fitness thing. Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. I know for myself, I do a bit of running. Not I'm not fast at all.
Me too.
Like
I'm not fast too.
no, um, that's what they say. There's Ferraris and there's like diesels, and I'm like I am a diesel diesel engine.
Yeah.
I just plod
Yeah.
along, but I do enjoy breaking up like days with exercise, it's like you say. I think it does refresh you a lot mentally as well. Like I feel better when I exercise. It's just like the endorphins are different, I guess. But I do. It's interesting when you say like having going to the gym and that on the day, and it's more mental. But I'm also like for me those 8 9 hour days, I am cooked at the end of that,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
I know that's mentally draining as well. But I'm like, I feel very physically fatigued, and I
Mm.
wonder like for guys that are top cutting and getting in that top 32, like there's you have to be as fresh at the start of as you were at the start of the day as you were at the end of the day. And I wonder like
Yeah.
if you didn't go or you didn't exercise at all, right? Do you
Nah,
think you
not on the day.
yeah. No, but if you didn't exercise at all and so you had no base fitness coming in, do you think you'd play you think you'd get different results at all? Like different stamina sort of stuff?
I think the stamina, like, I mean, if I just base it off like me and like some of the other players I play with, I think the stamina comes off not really like doing a lot of fitness, but probably more like the fact that they're playing hours like for a lot of days,
Yeah. Okay.
anyways. So like to them, this full day of 9 rounds is almost equivalent to their like full day of practicing, right?
Yeah.
So
Okay.
that's probably why it doesn't affect them as much as compared to like someone else that doesn't invest as much time in practicing, or is just not used to like sitting down and just fully trying to like use your brain for like the whole
Yeah, yeah.
day sort of thing. I think that is probably one of the main factors rather than fitness itself.
Yeah.
But I think it would definitely I think it would definitely have a lot of like positive things. Like it will definitely keep you more energized throughout the day. Like just being fit in general gives you that energy, right? So I think it would definitely help. But yeah, I just think there are other factors as well, like the amount of time they invest in practice.
Yeah. That's a really I never heard of it being put that way before, but it's almost like you need card fitness. Like you need the mental and physical preparation of actually doing the thing that you're going to do, which makes sense, right? When you
Yeah,
put it that way, it makes perfect sense. So that's something that I will definitely be adding into my
yeah,
repertoire coming into Adelaide. Because I just play the sim, play the sim like
yeah, yeah. The
8
sim is
games or
definitely
something, and you're
different.
like, oh, move on to something different. But yeah, it's it's very different, isn't it?
Yeah, but I think like I think another strategy that you can also think about going into events like this, when you know that it's going to be a long day and you don't know whether or not you can actually handle all of the mental fatigue, is thinking about the level of difficulty of the deck that you choose.
Yeah,
If by picking a easier deck you can last through the whole day, I think it's probably smarter to pick an easier deck.
yeah,
Like for me, when I play GI Law, I know I'm crashing out at like round 6. Like there's no way I can play it the whole day, right? But
yeah,
if I run in something else that's easier, like yeah, it's things like
yeah.
that as well. Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's I sort of mentioned it, and I was like, I'll take Bonnie with me to because I'm going to Adelaide, so I'll take Bonnie with me to Adelaide. But that's because I'm so comfortable playing Bonnie now that I don't think the 3 to 4 weeks, whatever it is, before Adelaide, I don't want to spend that learning Blue Purple or Bello Betty to play that optimally. I don't think I could put the time in to do it, and
Yeah.
then so it's like I'll last hurrah for Bonnie before Brisbane. But
Yeah.
so yeah, that's really really cool. I'd never really thought about it like that. Um, so you talked there about like mental health or
Mm.
mental health through the game.
Hmm.
Do you like how do you do that? Because you're in Melbourne, and you've got like an ultra competitive scene down there. So when you are in these events, how do you stop comparison between the guys that you know that you're playing with? Does that come into your day at all?
Yeah, it definitely does. I think like no matter what, if you see another player that you know is a strong player, like you will start to feel like you could start to feel a certain way. You could start to feel like, some jitters, um, sort of thing. I think the best way around it, I guess, is to just get used to it and keep getting more experience with playing with these players. For me, like I guess at the start, if I were to see one of these guys, I would probably be like very nervous. But over time, you start to realize, like, as mentioned in our chat before this, like it's mind blank. It's
Like they're people as well, right?
yes, that's
Yeah,
right. They're people
yeah,
as well. Sorry,
yeah.
yeah, yeah, that they're also people as well. So it's if you look at it like that, everyone you kind of feel that everyone's on like a even playing ground. And then after that, if you just get into the game instead of thinking about the person, like just try to understand the board state, and rather than the player itself, try and understand what they're doing with their hands, how they're countering, and things like that, and try and look at it as objectively as possible through those sort of things instead of thinking about the player. I think if you do that, it would help you a lot.
Yeah. Focusing on like the individual steps
Yeah, the game
of the game.
itself, not
Yeah,
the person,
yeah,
because people will make mistakes, and sometimes you don't want to like over credit the moves that they're doing just because of who they are. I think when people do that, it can definitely disrupt the gameplay, and it's the last thing that you'd want. You want to play at your best and the best that you know how.
yeah,
So,
yeah.
yeah.
No, that's really cool. So are you sort of just touching on that, and you're saying you want to play it the best when you're playing the card game?
Mm.
You have like so there's the overall theme of beating the other person. Do you break that down into like I need to get like 2 life off them by
Mm.
this point, and then I'm in a good spot if I still have this many life and this board. Like, how do
Yeah.
you approach the intra game? I don't know if that's the right word, but the
Yeah.
intra game mechanics.
Yeah, I think I'll just take it a step back a little and sort of just explain what my general I'll try and separate a bit, but like my general mindset when it comes to playing the game and how I would like to like win in general. Like I think at a higher picture, at a higher level, the main thing is like, what is my objective? Main objective is game. What is my win condition? So if I put OP10 Bonnie into example against Shanks, how can I as Bonnie defeat Shanks, especially like as a losing matchup, right?
Yeah.
The first thing that I want to do is like, so this is like kind of like before the game even starts. Like you want to understand what your win condition is, which we know that the longer the game goes, the stronger Shanks will be, the more board they'll develop. So we want to be able to beat them earlier on in the game. And how can we, as a Bonnie player, achieve that? Which would be to develop stronger bodies earlier, right? But we know that um, Shanks will have cards that can remove our board
Yep.
very easily,
Yep.
right? If they go 7 Don, they can play Rayleigh. They can pop out things. Oh, sorry, not Rayleigh.
Beckman.
What's the guy? Beckman.
Yep.
Beckman. They can pop out things or using
Rayleigh's
Rayleigh,
coming
right?
next.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
then if you think about it like that, what's the optimal play, right? Assuming they don't have any so that we know that they don't have any removal from think from 6 don, so it'll be like 7, 8, right? So if I were to go first, the strongest play for me would be to drop I guess would be to drop like Smoker, for example, because Smoker is our highest power body.
Yeah.
It's a lot harder to remove. And
Yeah.
then afterwards, how can we set up from there? Like we can play like a Cavendish with the Tashigi to ensure that our board keeps sticking, and then slowly develop that over time. So you have to understand like what your win conditions are overall. I think that's the first thing. And the second aspect that I look at when I'm playing the game is, I guess, fundamentals. What is the what is our optimal sequencing? Like do we have time? So this is where you assess like whether or not you're in a good spot, right? So if I can feel that I'm in a good spot, for example, like he can't really push my life and I can still survive for the next few turns, maybe it's worth it to try and get information out of them and out of their hand, right? So maybe I could try swinging six. Will you give me 2 1s? Will you give me a 2K? And then you can sort of like pivot your gameplay accordingly. So if I swing six, he gives me 2 1s. Then I'm like, okay, he has no 2Ks. Let me just start pressuring his life. So then maybe I can set up for game faster. Then you can end the game like quicker or something like before you even reach like your, I guess main game plan. Just a more optimal play. I think, yeah, those sort of fundamentals are very important. And then with sequencing, like deciding, what your goal is when you want to swing. So if I want to swing seven, right, I'm trying to pitch out like 2 cards from the hand or something like that. Or yeah, and deciding where to do it as well. Like if I swing seven into their life and they they take it, that means I can pivot into pushing their life. Or it's like it's not about pushing it to the life anymore. Now I need to guarantee that um, I'm safe for the next turn. So instead
Yeah.
of pushing seven to the life, I need to go for guaranteed stuff. So I'm going to try and control their board and start swinging seven or like whatever into their board instead. Those sort of understandings of the board state and where you are, I think, is something that is very important. And then there's the last one, I think, which is something that personally I'm still like working on as well, which is like being able to read their hand more and being aware of what their hand could be. So the other thing could be like tracking their searches or like seeing what they counter out with
Yeah.
and yeah, things like that. I think for me personally, sometimes I accidentally tunnel vision a bit in game because I'm always so focused about like different factors that I sort of forget to manage look at their hand, what they're throwing.
Yeah.
But I think that is also like one of the really important things that you must have when you're playing to help you improve in your
Yeah.
game. Yeah.
Yeah. That's a big thing because because you talk about it then, and immediately in my mind, I'm like, when I watch the live streams and the stuff,
Yeah.
and they're perpetually like looking through the other person's trash,
Yeah.
and I'm like,
Yeah.
what? It's like seems like such an odd thing to do, but
Yeah.
it's not. Like you get a really good handle on what their hand
Yeah.
is, what's to come, and like what their
Exactly.
life can be.
Yeah, because it definitely like can help you pivot in terms of your general gameplay. And like the other thing that I guess we have to understand is that this is a card game, right? You won't always have the best hand. You won't always have the best things. So at times you have to make educated guesses to try and push things into your favor. Because if you don't have the best hand, sometimes your general game plan won't work.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you have to like try and take chances.
Yeah.
That's how like to push your wins. Yeah.
Yeah. No, that's that was dropping bombs there, man. That was a lot of really good information. I appreciate you sharing all that.
That's
Um,
okay.
Speaking of sharing information, do you have a new YouTube channel that you've just started? Was it Reverie and HQ? I think.
Yeah, so at the moment, so me and some Melbourne players like Jasper, Nice, Stefan, and a few other strong players that like I guess exist in Eternal Magic as well as like Fetch TCG like Leon, Snowy Frog, that one of the judges, like we playtest together and we decided, we might have a YouTube channel. So
Yeah,
we
cool.
just created one called Reverie HQ. So if you guys want to look at it and
Yeah,
hopefully we'll start uploading soon. That'd be
yeah.
cool. Yeah.
Like and subscribe and all those things. I'll
Yeah.
put the links for that below.
Yeah,
And
thank
you
you.
have like a Twitter. We'll put down
Yeah,
there and stuff like
yeah,
that.
thank you. Yeah,
Um, anyone else you'd like to shout out or anything like that?
yeah. I think the other thing that I just wanted to add, like, I think you mentioned earlier, like you don't know if you want to invest all the time to learning like a new deck and like things like that.
Yeah.
I guess just wanted to point out like there are a lot of resources that are like available and like good coaches.
Yeah.
I think yesterday like someone Ben won the Singapore
Yep.
championships 1v1. Like I've spoke to him before, the way he verbalizes things and conveys his like knowledge is very good. Like you could get coaching from players like him or like Nice as well, someone who like our OC rank 1 at the moment. Like these players are very good, and you know, if you don't have the time, just take their knowledge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. To times is a precious commodity,
Yeah.
man.
Exactly.
And I think I 100% think coaching's worth it. And spoke with Ernest about it a bit as well. And he was like, yeah, it's helped him a lot as well. There's like, there is a little taboo with it. I feel for some people, they're like, oh, it's just a card game. Don't like why, but I'm like, you are paying for your time. And just because you got coaching doesn't mean you're magically better. You still have to put the effort in and do all the work. And I think having guys like Nice, the Singapore guys, Elliot, bunch of guys that do the coaching, I think it's a wonderful asset that people should take more advantage of, for sure.
Yeah. I think it's not even just cards. If you want to get good at something and you want to do well, like you don't have to do everything by yourself. Like why not take advantage of what's there?
Yeah.
You know, I just
Yeah, I testify. I 100% agree with you there. Yeah. So yeah, well that's cool. I'll put Nice's coach link in there.
yeah, sure. I'll ask him for it.
And we'll go from there. That'll be good.
Yeah.
Just like so I have a couple of random questions I'd like to finish on. Do you have like a favorite deck, like combo that you loved, that
combo,
like a card combo where you're like, 8 cost kid into Rosinante, swing with Cavendish, attach Don on like that's my dream come true, that move for Bonnie.
Oh.
But do you have something like that for Green Yellow Law, or was there something in the past where you're like, this combo of cards is the best feeling in the world?
I wouldn't say a combo of cards, but like my best feeling is dropping Hody Jones on like a Luffy with 1 Don left.
Yeah.
I'll just show you. I love Hody Jones so much.
Yeah.
I started buying his like gold Dons.
Oh, nice.
Hody Jones.
Yeah.
I've been trying to get a playset. I've only got 6. So like,
man, it's so good.
Yeah.
So good.
I love the Hody Jones gold Dons. Yeah, Hody Jones is like, just being able to drop the card Hody is like the best feeling for me, to be honest.
I love it. Yeah. I love it. It is up there. I love it behind 8-cost kid too, and you drop Hody and you're like, I'm getting myself some counter, I'm resting everything.
And when you yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And when you're playing GY Law, you play the Hody one time, and they're like, well, he doesn't have another one. Then you just bounce it back and play it again. Oh, so good.
Yeah. No, I love it. It's I was like, people were like, oh, that card's overpowered. I'm like, man, it's green. We have like 4 cards. Come on.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
cool.
Green is rough.
That is a banger. And always end the same way. Are you an anime, manga, or live action fan?
I'm an anime fan.
Yeah, cool.
Definitely an anime fan.
Yeah, awesome. Right, it's been wonderful having you on, Enrique, and there has been some really, really insightful discussions. Like a lot of really good advice. It's been really, 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 really good for me, and it will be really good for everyone. So, wonderful. Thanks for coming on, man. Really appreciate it.
Thanks for having me. Thank
awesome.
you.
All right.
Well,
cool. Peace out.
See ya.